Hello everybody and welcome back to I Was a Teenage Exocolonist. We know what's coming. We know what this end of the year is gonna bring, so we just need to keep trucking through and try and survive until it happens. So let's see, what do I want to do? Tammy and Mars. And my engineering is at 39. I still want to get that up to 50 before next year, but we can wait a little bit. We have time. Let's do something with Mars, and then we'll hopefully do the talent show too. That'll get us more friendship with her. So let's see. Work in the depot. You're scrolling through a holo novel behind the desk when Tangent comes in. She pauses and looks uncomfortable when she sees you and Mars looking at her, and quickly disappears into the shelves. You and Mars shrug. A few minutes later, Tang comes up to the counter and drops a fistful of candy. She shifts from foot to foot as you ring her up, jostling up and down and rubbing her stomach. I also need something from behind the counter, she says quietly. Some medicine. You ask her what she needs, and she mumbles the name. You can't hear her. Can you repeat that? She mumbles it again, a little louder. Mars stifles a giggle. I'm sorry, what? Tang rolls her eyes. Stars, she curses. I need fart pills, okay? The stupid alien bacteria and all the weird native food makes my stomach upset. Not the freaking diarrhea. OMG, Mars laughs. You have blue gut? Really, Tang? The perfect has blue farts. Tang crosses her arms and looks miserable. You give Mars a questioning look. Blue gut? Mars says. You know when you keep farting and farting all this, like, blue dusty stuff? Mars leans over the counter to get a better look at Tang's backside. Oh no, she says dramatically. White was not the best color to wear today, Tangent. Your butt's as blue as Yabby's hair. Mars cackles as Tang anxiously cranes her neck to look at her rear. Liar, Tang mumbles, not meeting her eyes. Just give me the pills, please. I don't want to talk about my stupid body. I'm gonna be quiet. You jab Mars in the ribs before she can make any more jokes and ring up Tang's request without another mention. You hand over the bag and Tang shoots you a grateful smile before leaving the depot, looking a little more relieved than when she came in. Phew. Sorry, Tang. I do want to get more friendship with Mars too, just not at the expense of others. Here we go. It's time for Virtunalia, the yearly midsummer celebration when the colony gives thanks for its good fortune. As you file into the main square, you notice that the feast table is looking good this year. The geophonics fields have been transformed into a small slice of earth thanks to supplies you brought across the stars with you. Every year, your parents look more and more optimistic as crops begin to flourish. Soon, powdered soy protein will be a distant memory. Utica takes her place on the stage. My, she says, her voice soft and paper-thin through the maxiphoner. We've come to another Virtunalia already. She spreads her thin arms in welcome. Let us enjoy our blessings together. The colony applauds, and Utica bows her head in thanks. Everyone clears away the chairs for the annual competition. Which one do you participate in this year? We're gonna go for the talent show again, because we want to raise our friendship with Mars. You and Mars report to the stage for the talent competition. Deese is nowhere to be seen. Mars frowns, looking around as if he's lying in wait. Oh, boo, she grumbles. He always made me look good. If it's just you, I'm only best out of two. More like worst out of two, I'm kicking your butt this year. Mars has been working on her speechcraft. This year, she gives a speech inspired by the great leaders of Earth, linking their philosophies into a sort of mega-theory about how the greatest works of human history have come from overcoming our greatest struggles through ingenuity and cooperation. Because it's Mars, the climax of the speech resolves with inspirational music and fireworks. It's very exciting. Exciting. You're up. What have you prepared? An original song. I can be creative. Wait. Oh my goodness. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. So much red. Mars's act was a tough one to follow, but the talent show is judged by audience applause. No one wants to be lectured about uncomfortable truths, and your lighthearted song easily wins over the audience. Mars looks miffed at the snub, but shakes your hand. Geniuses are rarely appreciated in their time, she says. After the festivities, the whole colony takes a few days off for a break. Nemi and Com organize a giant sports ball tournament, and Anne sets up a food stall serving sweet potato juice slushies and spiral cut potatoes on skewers. The party just keeps on going. It's great. Heck yeah. We actually get to relax this time around. If only for a little bit. Oh, I have another flower for you. I completely forgot. Here you go. There you go. Ooh! You find Tammy in the common quarters. She's heavily absorbed in cleaning, balancing on a chair to dust high up on the walls. You wonder who did all of the really thankless cleaning around the colony, and apparently the answer is Tammy. Tammy looks down at you as you approach and gestures to turn off her hair speak. Oh, hello, Yabby, she says, pushing her bangs off her face with a sweaty, harried smile. She's clearly been at this for a while. I was just getting some cleaning done. Nothing like a shiny, clean room to take your mind off things, right? She grimaces, then seems to remember herself and covers it up with a giggle. It feels forced. Is something wrong, Tammy? What? Oh, no, of course not, Tammy assures you. She hops down off the chair and gives you a brief little squeeze. Gosh, that's so nice of you to ask. You fix Tammy with a look, and her smile falters. I mean, it's nothing, she says. I overheard something I probably shouldn't have. She says, looking down at the ground. When I was getting something from the pantry, I overheard some of the adults in the kitchen talking about how the trippet stalks from the last harvest all had some, weird mold on them, and they had to throw out almost all of them. She tugs on her ear, miserable. If we ever run out of food, well... Tammy clenches her fists in her skirt. I wish I didn't have to hear about all the bad things. Why can't things just be good and nice and not so scary all the time? The grown-ups have things under control. They don't, but I'm gonna try and comfort you. Tammy nods, resolute. Yes, there's nothing I can do about it anyway. I'm not as smart as Tangent or as strong as Anemone, but that's okay, because I'm really good at cooking and cleaning and taking care of the babies and doing all the other things a colony needs to keep running. I just want things to be nice and normal, Tammy blurts out. I wish people knew that I can hear them when they talk about scary things. Tammy sniffles and gives you a brave smile. Thanks for listening, Yabby. I'm gonna go back to cleaning now, okay? You leave Tammy in the common room area, continuing to avoid thinking about her fears through stress cleaning. Maybe you should open up about your feelings a little more often, Tammy. That stress isn't good for you. Then again, maybe I should do some stress cleaning. There's a lot of stuff on the floor right now. Alright, let's see. I do want to spend more time with Mars and get my engineering up, but I also want to go talk to Sim again. Should we forage in the valley? We haven't done that yet. But we'll save surveying the plains for, fun times with Nomi, because we're going to be dealing with exploring with them for a little bit, so we're going to have to save them a bunch. But you know what? It's worth it to have a bestie. Hello, Utopia. Utopia greets you warmly as you muster for your first expedition on the foraging team. Yabby, I'm glad you can make it. I'm ready to sniff out those tasties. Good luck hunting out there, she says, handing you an oversized backpack, more like a basket than a pack. Use your holopalm to identify edible and medicinal plants, and just throw them in there. I'll sort them back at base camp. Oh, and keep on the lookout for creatures. It's pretty peaceful out there in the valley, but even a little bug will get you if you're not careful. Go slow, pay attention to your surroundings. If you're unsure about something, don't approach it. Stay on the path and don't get lost. We don't call it the Valley of Vertigo for nothing. Any questions? Will Deese be with me this time? Utopia looks like she's trying not to smile. Nah, Deese is good at finding new things, just not so much the same things over and over. You'll be okay, though, she continues. You won't be alone out there, and you're doing important work. You're about to leave when Utopia snaps her fingers. Hold up, Yabby. We're also investigating some species we might domesticate. Those we'll want to tag and capture. Ideally, we're looking for herbivorous creatures, what already live in herds, and either produce something edible or reproduce quick enough we can slaughter them for meat. If you see anything that fits the bill, tag them and bring them back. I don't want anything to get killed, Utopia. But fine, I'll do my job. I'm mainly here to talk to my alien boyfriend. He's around here somewhere. you come across a veritable feast of berry bushes. Gloopy, sagging bushes with enormous purple berries. They look delicious. Research them first. Let's be smart about this. Good enough. Ooh, these purple berries? They're not even in the Holopedia as berries. They're some kind of explosive seed pod. You take a few steps back, careful not to set one off. Set them off from a safe distance. You shield yourself behind a tree and throw rocks at the bushes until with a satisfying pop, 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 the explosive berries begin to trigger in a chain reaction. Each burst sends seeds flying in all directions like shrapnel, setting off nearby berry bushes. You then carefully cut a path through the thicket and continue on your way. Yeah, we gotta be careful. We gotta be big-brained out here. Where's Simp? Something about the ground here draws your attention. It's oddly lumpy. What's up with that? Scope it out. I believe I know what this is. This is the thingy. What's the word? What am I looking for? The cake ground. Is that what it is? I don't remember. Either way, we don't need it, but we'll take it. Whoa, it's a potato minefield! Okay, I was wrong. Underground, the recent rain has swelled the young melons to bursting. You better watch where you step or you'll end up knee-deep in potato juice. The good news is, they're tasty. Forage one! They're so dang heavy, the calorie-to-weight ratio isn't optimal. Most are too young, but you find a ripe one, dig it up, and roll it back to the depot. It's like that scene in Charlie Brown and the Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown where they're rolling the pumpkin back. Ooh, the curious Ricky blocks your path. It's acting strange. It keeps scurrying up trees and hanging upside down to get a different angle to look at you, then dropping down when you try to pass underneath. It may be small, but it's at least attempting to be intimidating. That must mean something. It's not interested in your pet, Ricky. It's interested in you. Even Wiggles looks unsure and hides between your legs. Approach it. I see my boyfriend in the distance. I have to go past. The Ricky runs up your leg. It's a giant spider thing and it's got weird tentacles and get it off, get it off! The urge to dance around and shake it off is almost controllable, but you manage to keep your cool. The Ricky tastes you with its tentacle feeler legs, but doesn't look interested in causing you harm. It pokes at your backpack, try and give in, then gives up and scurries off. Phew. What about you? Are you interested in my Ricky? You come across not just one Vricky, but a whole swarm of them, mostly baby ones about the size of your head. They're all amassed around a massive tree, scurrying up and down the trunk. When you see the tree itself under the swarm, you notice it's the same pale pink as the baby Vricky. Its tentacle-like roots meander a fairly large distance before plunging into the ground. When you see the Vricky approach, they get agitated, and they look hungry? Definitely hungry. Grapefruit-sized, furry pink spiders, the stuff of nightmares. Your pet Wiggles doesn't seem scared at all. What's my bravery at? 41. Do I have anything? Oh, I don't. I'm gonna have to fight them. I'm sorry, Vrickies. I didn't want to. I have to get through. Well, that wasn't so hard. You smack a couple of them to the ground and the rest scuttle up to the boughs and hide there. You puff your chest out bravely and walk on. I don't feel good. I just beat up some babies. I hope my boyfriend didn't see that. What's this? Ooh, you find a healthy blep bush and harvest some of the leaves to bring back to the colony. Utopia's beyond excited when she sees your haul. Oh, Blip, she cries, shoving her hands right into the basket of ruffling leaves. Yeah, but you're a kid after my own heart. She pops a leaf into her mouth and chews on it, then shudders happily. "Whew," she cries. "That'll perk you up but good. Aunt Anne brews a heck of a cup with the stuff, but me? I prefer it raw." She points at you. "Don't you go getting any funny ideas. This'll turn you green and give you spots. Cross my heart. Stay away until you're older." No! Ugh, just because Utopia was born on Earth, she thinks she's an adult just like the rest of them. She's closer to your age than all the other adults. What does she know anyway? You wait until Utopia leaves and then shove a leaf into your mouth. Ugh! You struggle not to spit it out right away. It's so bitter. You can't help but stick out your tongue. Bleh, indeed. Mysteriously, you experience a rush of giddiness a few minutes later. Whew! Wow! The blep sure is good. No wonder the adults keep this stuff away from kids. It's probably addictive. Now, if it were in bean form, who could even guess? Hi, Sim! You're walking up the trail when you're caught by surprise. It's Sim, and he's running? You're knocked to the side as he pushes past you, running in the opposite direction with barely a glance. You shout and chase after him, but after a few seconds it becomes clear you don't have a hope of finding Sim when he doesn't want to be found. You turn and continue along the path, and around the next bend you spot a familiar face. Utopia! I didn't eat any blep leaves. Nope. Or see any aliens. I have seen nothing. And eaten nothing. I am a good girl. She's collecting rock samples with a pickaxe, like an old-timey prospector. Who the hell was that? She demands. Who? I didn't see anyone. Utopia squints at you. The man who just ran past. The tall guy dressed in black? How did you not see him? She hikes her pickaxe off her shoulder. Whatever, just watch where you're running, okay? The gravel's loose around here. And maybe check in with Doc Instance. Get your eyes looked at. You agree, happy to be out of this conversation without any trouble, and continue along the path before Utopia asks any more questions. You walk for a couple of minutes before you see Sim again. He seems to be in good humor, despite the close call. "Oh," he says, leaning against a tree, "it is tiresome to be so secretive." He wipes his eyes, brimming with mirth. "It is such a pleasure to be around you and Dees, and to not have to hide myself." He sobers quickly. "I do appreciate your discretion," he says. "It is not the right time for the gardeners to be formally introduced. To do so early would cause a great degree of chaos." "Yes, even the female surveyor," she continues. "I do like her, but I have learned from my limited experience with your kind that adults to your species do not react well to surprises." "It is good you're here, though," Sim continues, "as I do need something from you. Data." What? Sim holds up his hands. "Please do not be alarmed," he says placatingly. "I do not mean sensitive information such as personnel or defenses. I mean only the contents of your digital cultural archive." Like holovids? Sim smiles. "Yes, exactly. Your holographic recordings of movies, music, books, cultural artifacts only, I promise." "Why?" "Well," Sim says, "isn't it obvious? I wish to know more about your kind. I wish to learn how to..." He struggles for the right phrasing. "I wish to learn how to act in such a way that is not so discomforting to humans." "Alright, I'll do it." Sim's gentle smile grows warmer. "Truly?" he asks, clasping his hands. "Oh, I thought it would take a great deal more convincing. You are surprising. It's such a pleasure." You tell Sim that you'll likely find a mem drive in engineering and fill it with the data he wants. But you request payment of another kind. Sim startles and laughs, his hand shooting up to cover his mouth. "Oh, you're so bold, Yabby. That is a quality I genuinely admire about you. What a marvelous gift, to be able to simply voice whatever is on your mind without the burden of forethought." He taps his lips thoughtfully. "Perhaps watching your holographic videos will help me to understand the nuances of your request." "Oh, then I'll definitely do it. I gotta go. I gotta go do it right now." Here, take a flower. How are we with Mars? 51. Nice. Alright. Everyone is over 50. And we will continue to raise them later. For now, I'm gonna get the data, and then I'm gonna do something in engineering again. And then we'll go back to Mars? Probably. Maybe I'll alternate between the other two once we're done talking with Sim. We just want to make sure we can actually do that. Rex will be a little easier than Nomi Nomi because we can just do construction all the time. When it comes to Vase, or well, not even construction, we can just go up to him and hug him and give him some of the wood he wants. With Vase, I'm thinking I'm just gonna have to gift him stuff and maybe do some stuff in the combat area. I'm probably gonna have to either way because we need to make sure Anemone is all highly leveled as much as we can. So it's going to be a balance when it comes to that. But we have time. We're already at 50, so we're getting there. We just need to make sure that they're at 80 by the time they're 17, so we might need to focus on Anemone a little more than the others for a little bit. Alright, download the data for Sim. Sim asked you for data on human culture, television shows, music, books, things like that. You have unlimited access to Congruence's media archives through your holopalm, but for Sim it will be a little more complicated. You'll need to find a physical storage unit with enough memory to contain a chunk of the holo archives. Ask Professor Hal for one. Physical storage media, eh? We don't use many of those, do we? He chuckles. Most everything's networked. He's happy to help, though, and tells you to come with him to his workshop where he repairs robots. He starts rummaging around in a desk, then another desk, then a footlocker, and a cabinet. He sticks his tongue through his teeth while he wiggles his arm all the way to the back set of the drawers. What do you need it for, anyway? Your holopalm on the fritz? I could take a look at it for you. I'm gonna tell the truth. You tell him an alien wants to watch old television shows so he can learn more about being a human. Professor Hal just chuckles as he finally pulls out the disc. Okay, whatever game it is you kids are playing. He hands you a tiny cylinder the size of your pinky finger. Well, here it is. You can plug it in here and copy whatever you need from the HoloNet onto it. I'll leave you to it. You start by carefully copying your very favorite vids and games, and then realize there is a shit-ton more room in this tiny device. You sweep in several thousand more vids, as well as the entire contents of the school's Learningpedia. This should be enough for, well, a lifetime. You pull out the unit and admire it. It has a tiny holoprojector at one end with a gesture sensor, just like your holopalm. Perfect. I should probably take it out right away, huh? Yeah, let's do this right away. Let's just get it done. Meow. Planes. Get us a little friendship with Dees along the way. Couldn't hurt. Hello? Did you bring what I asked? Sim is standing in the shadows, wrapped up in his clothes like he's trying to blend into the jungle. He looks like a vid actor pretending to be shifty. You guess he's asking about the data he asked you to smuggle out of engineering. I've got the data you asked for. I knew it, Sim exclaims. I dreamed about it last time in my vat. In your what now? Sim waves his hand dismissively. Never mind. Let me have the data drive. Here you go. You hand over the data drive and Sim takes it reverently, staring as if he could see what's inside. Marvelous, he says. Like a genetic payload, except with digital data instead of organic. What will I learn from this trove, I wonder? You're still puzzling over the implications of the phrase genetic payload as he continues. The other gardeners are so tedious and obsessed with their work, he complains. They're more concerned with maintaining equilibrium than experiencing new things. They don't understand the novelty that is what makes life interesting. He slips the data drive into his sleeve. Oh, what? What's the matter? Oh, baby. He slips the data drive into his sleeve. Thank you, Yavi. I will treasure this. Not as much as I treasure you. Alright, let's see. Ooh, I will take that. I'll take that. I probably can't get to all the way to the end of this zone. Not right now, anyway. I probably should. Especially so we could get to the other valley. What are you doing? Hey, get that plastic out of your mouth. Hey, we don't eat plastic in this house. Yeah, the problem is I definitely don't have enough energy to get over there. At least I don't think I do. Maybe we'll relax and come back towards the end of the year. Yeah, we could do engineering. Excuse you? Why are you crying? You do not get to cry at me because I took away the plastic. You're not supposed to eat plastic. As I was saying, we're going to probably do one more round of engineering, one more round of the other thing. Oh, but then I would... Okay. Hang on. Alright. Let's do something with Mars. Then we'll give a flower to Tammy, and then we'll relax and get more friendship with Tammy, and then we're gonna come back out and get through this area, because I believe we need to get to the end of this area to make the thumpers start working, but either way we'll need more items anyway, and this is a good way to get some, so let's just do it. Why did I come all the way back here? I can press the button. Oh yeah, I got distracted by plastic-eating cats. Plus, that'll bring our perception all the way up, which we definitely need. I need to get a gift for you. I need to spend... You know what? I might actually spend some time with Anemone. She's been kind of neglected, so let's do Anemone, relax, explore, and then we'll do Anemone again during dark. Glow. Sorry, I keep messing that up. Alright, defense training or sports ball. We could do with a little more bravery, might as well. You've heard Security Chief Red is on the lookout for lookouts. That is, for kids to chill out on top of the walls all afternoon and count Xenos. It's way better than going to class. He gives you a once-over, eyes narrowed. All right, he says. Look over there, at the end of the field. What does the sign say? I'm gonna read it out loud. You can read the sign easily. It says if you can read this, your eyesight is 20/20. Oh, then I definitely shouldn't be able to read it. I need new glasses really bad. Huh, what a weird sign. What does it mean? Rhett nods in approval. Good, you pass. Come back next month and I'll put you on the roster. Nice. Now can I play sports ball, coach? I'm gonna relax anyway, might as well. I'll just push through. Nice. Friendship. Alright, let's get some relaxation in. What's Cal at? Cal is one of the highest friendships right now. Oh no, wait, Tangent is the highest. Oh yeah, I have a gift for Deese. Hang on. Here you go. And, yeah, we'll relax in here. Or should we relax with our pets? No, this will give us stuff with Tammy. We need stuff with Tammy. You listen to the sound of the rain bouncing off the roof of the lounge, letting it lull you to sleep. It's so easy to nap this time of year. You spend most of the month just lying around, sleeping whenever you feel like it. Sometimes you go back to your quarters, but mostly you just let your eyes slip closed wherever you're sitting. Yes. I'll save both of those. I get us friendship with Tammy. I gave him the flower for a birthday gift because I didn't have anything else. Okay, 55, 54, 55, 53. I really need to raise your friendship, Anemone. I don't have any eggs for you, though. Do you like anything else? Because if we can get 5 more perception, then that means we can run around the rest of the areas without having to worry about our stress as much. We can just run around, do whatever we want, especially friendship-based ones, and Nomi and grabbing stuff in the new area, the ridges, and then we don't have to worry about our stress. Sim! For once, you see Sim before he sees you. He's crouched just off the path, staring at a flower, his face blank. He doesn't react as you approach, so you watch him for a while. He's so perfectly motionless, so you watch him for a while. Oh. He's so perfectly motionless, you'd think he was a plant too. His eyes are unfocused. Is he accessing some kind of mental interface? Eventually, you clear your throat. Sim carefully stands up and turns to face you. For a moment, you're not sure if he recognizes you. Then he tosses his head and a grin leaps onto his face. Yabby, you caught me checking in with the boss. The Overseer? Yes, the Overseer is still considering the human problem. In the meantime, I've been ordered to avoid engaging with you directly. Then why keep talking to me? Sim smiles warmly. Because you're the person of my dreams. Literally. Oh, I swoon. I can't seem to stay away from you. And because you humans are so different, he continues, I'm so bored of everyone else on this planet. The other gardeners, my boss, They have everything on Vertumna just the way they like it, and don't want the teeniest thing to change. He sighs. It's boring. See that tree? Sim points to the large tree with many long limbs dripping from it and embedded into the ground. That tree was the small creature for part of its life cycle. You call it the Vriki. Once it plants its roots, that's where it stays for the rest of its life. The gardeners spend times as trees too, sometimes hundreds of years. If you do that enough, you start to think like a tree, set in your ways. He spreads his hands, an earnest expression on his face. When I watch you, when I talk to you and learn about your species, I feel inspired. I feel young again. Sometimes I feel 100 years old. You're talking about your time sense, right? He asks. Forgive me if I repeat myself, as it were. You tell him you don't always remember specific things people will say. It's more of a vague feeling that you know more about a person than you should. Sim looks at you curiously, clearly wondering how much you already know about him. Then he cocks his head as if listening and holds up a hand. I'm sorry, he says, looking for all the world like he's listening to the dang flower, but I must away. And with that, he's gone, off to do whatever it is he always does at this point in your relationship when he's still being cagey and mysterious. At least we got to talk to him again. Goodness gracious, cats! You hear Dees shouting from nearby to come quick and look at this. You meet up with Dees on a curiously clean part of the path. There's no twigs, pebbles, bits of grass, or the ubiquitous Dorbsmoth scales that litter the area. It almost looks like it's been swept clean. And there, in the middle of the perfect circle, 3 meters wide, is what you could only describe as a shrine. A hollow, waist-tight structure made from twigs and packed with spark snow forms the centerpiece, and around it are deliberately spaced piles of colorful fruit, flowers, and glittering stones like an offering. Did you make this? Dees looks at you as if you started speaking in tongues. No, he says angrily. I know you think I'm weird, but not this weird. Investigate it. You don't think that even Dees is weird enough to make something that looks like this. It's creepy as hell. Gives you the spooks just standing near it. You try and get inside the structure for a closer look. It's almost big enough for you to crouch inside, but not quite. You accidentally hit it, and the whole thing collapses on top of you. As you dig your way out, feeling a little bad, but also oddly relieved to have destroyed it, you find a neat crystal. You show it to Dees, but he just rolls his eyes. I'm sorry, Dees, I didn't mean to knock it over. I wanted to get perception without raising my stress, but I did both anyway. At least I got more crystals for Mars. This'll be helpful. No eggs, though. We'll worry about eggs another time. Alright, let's go home. It's time for us to spend one more time with Anemone. And look at that, our perception's up to 100. Beautiful! Now that'll make moving around a lot easier. We're still going for the Explorer ending, but that'll make it easier for us to do it. Let's do some... Okay, well, we don't need to do lookout duty, even though it would get us more defense because we're 100 perception. We don't need it. So let's do defense training. Attendance at self-defense class is always a little higher during Glow. It's almost as if the imminent threat of attack makes people worried for their lives. I wonder. Let's get to work. We know what's coming, so we might as well be prepared. The roar wakes you. It would wake the dead. It shakes the walls, rumbles through the ship's hull, and makes your heart skip a beat. You're paralyzed by a sudden clench of fear in your gut. Through your porthole window, you hear metal screeching and people shouting. Then another roar, guttural and rumbling, like the sound of a mountain collapsing. Something enormous is out there. Run out to face it. You don't know what gives you the courage, but you run out of the fields. You run out to the fields to face the horrible creature. It has no face. In the place of a face, or even a head, its body just unzips, revealing a mass of writhing pink tentacles and blinking eyes, pocked with jagged, asymmetrical teeth. It stands on 4 enormously powerful legs, each as wide across as tree trunks. Clinging to its back and its thick, slug-like tail are clumps of lichen that glow faintly in the night. The creature is nearly twice the height of a greenhouse. It's standing on top of a flattened one, the wreckage of lattice and plants all around. Flickers of light from blast rifles and stun gloves light it from underneath, and the stench of ozone is thick in the air. You see Nemi and her brother Calm darting in and around its legs with their twin shocks of red hair. The faceless creature lurches into another greenhouse, oblivious to the soldiers trying to herd it away. The monster left a trail of destruction where it smashed right through the walls. Smaller creatures are pouring in through the gap and heading towards... They're heading straight for command! You watch helplessly as the horde of animals storm command, sneaking through torn away panels and smashing through windows. It's too far away to hear the screams, but Governor Udicott is inside. You have to do something! I want to help Nemi and Calm, but we know what's going to happen. No matter what we do, Calm is going to die. So save Udicott. It's a canon event! The smaller creatures are making a beeline for command, slipping into the heart of the colony while the defense squad is distracted. The line of slinking, many-legged beasts pass by much easier targets, moving with eerie, almost tactical purpose. Whatever's happening, you have to stop them. The scene in command is chaos. The blast doors that would have protected the bridge from depressurization in space are held open by a mound of corpses, both human and animal, and inside you hear Governor Udicott screaming for someone to help her. Challenge! 59. You beat back enough beasts to help Udicott escape to the bridge. As you shelter under the meeting room table, you hear horrible noises from the rest of the ship. Metal screeching, that terrible abomination roaring, the sounds of the creatures outside tearing their way through the hallways and trashing everything. Suddenly, the ship lurches and drops a few feet, buckling under the weight of something massive. Out the porthole window, you see a fleshy pink tentacle slap against the side of the ship before the faceless abomination outside crashes to the ground, taking the entire outer wall of the ship with it. Udicott sobs quietly into her hands in the sudden silence. You wait a long time until congruence gives you the all clear. The colony calls an all-colony meeting to face the aftermath of the attack. In the oppressive gloom of glow, you gather near engineering with the other survivors. It's one of the few buildings still standing. The corpse of the Faceless still sits in the caved-in wreckage of the stratospheric, spilling its flaccid pink tentacles from its horrible zipper-toothed maw. It's already beginning to stink. At least the governor survived. Governor Udicott takes to the stage and thanks you, personally, for rescuing her during the attack. Because of your bravery, the colony still has its leader. She also acknowledges the bravery of the defense squad, citing their heroism in finally taking down the Faceless. If only it hadn't gotten away from them and stampeded right into the stratospheric. At least they stopped it before it got into engineering, as it would have activated the reactor and left a crater the size of an asteroid impact. Geophonics is gone. The greenhouse is destroyed and the fields trampled. With the loss of hydroponics, you'll inevitably have to start rationing what's left. The entire front half of the stratospheric has been destroyed. The living quarters, the canteen, the garrison, the lounge, even the creche. It's all gone. It's only by some stroke of luck that the people hiding in the creche weren't all killed. Governor Udicott solemnly reads the names of those who lost their lives. Too many. You all stand for a moment of silence. You feel the weight of loss like a blow to your chest. Nemi and her family cry out when her brother Calm's name is called, and their quiet sobbing continues through the silence. With the living quarters destroyed, everyone moves into the engineering wing for shelter. You're crowded into the classroom with other families. The adults try to make it seem like a sleepover, but you're all still so shaken. Tammy doesn't return to the classrooms. The little one's got out okay, but she's still in the med bay, and will be for a while. Nemi cries about her brother and screams at anyone who tries to comfort her. Eventually, you just ignore her grief, as painful as it is to hear her sobbing at night. You feel like you've been awake for days, and you'll never fully sleep again. You try, but you keep jerking awake, crying out in fear. Eventually, you fall asleep sitting up, held up in your father's arms. Your sleep is fitful, but mercifully dreamless. Rest for now. Everything is destroyed! Once again. But this is the last time we'll have to go through with it. We know what's coming next time, too. The destruction is here, but soon the Helios will arrive. Are we ready to deal with them? Am I gonna punch Vase in the face? The answer to both is probably maybe, so let's worry about all that next time. Until then, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, please consider subscribing. Remember to take care of yourselves, pour one out for Calm, and have a good day.